welcome to my first live. Yay! This is Tasha checking in with another Love During Lockup review. So this is my first time going live, y'all. So I'm going to try to make sure I position this camera correctly, the whole nine. I ain't never went live on YouTube, and this is my first time, so I'm super excited about it, y'all. So again, this is Tasha checking in with another review of Love During Lockup. If it is your first time joining me, welcome. Shout out to all my new subscribers to the channel, to the Redefine Me channel. We have a good time over here. Thank y'all for subscribing. To all of those who are thinking about subscribing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It is a free way to support me. It's free 99, don't cost you a thing, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the content that I put out over here, okay? So before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and we are going to dive into these couples, y'all. We have made it to the season finale, and it's funny because I was not going to do a live, but my phone is acting up, and so I was just like, let me go ahead and just do a live since this is the last review of this particular season. Life During Lockup starts September 16th, I believe, and I will be reviewing that as well. But I'm gonna make sure I get some upgraded services on my phone, because that's what I'm using right now, because baby, the storage space is storage. Okay, and I have deleted so much stuff and it's still storage. So if y'all have any ideas on what I can do to free up some more storage, I mean, I literally have taken off almost everything. Go ahead and drop in the comments. I think one of my Christmas gifts to myself is going to be a iPad. That way I do not have to go live from my phone, and I don't have to use up all my storage and stuff like that. But I like my phone because I have my camera, my, for my light. So I love the fact that I can put my phone right in there, and then it's just, there, my tripod. But anyway, y'all ain't come to hear about all that. So if y'all watching me now, y'all know I took out my crochet. The crochet is out for a little while. I want to rock my natural hair. So if you all are interested in the curl pattern that I have developed in the front of my hair, that is Cream of Nature Curl Definer. And if you go on my page, I did review it a little bit. I did a little short on it, and it's really good. I absolutely love it. You just wet your hair, curl it around your hair individually, and it'll dry up, and it will create this really awesome curl pattern. And then I just pinned up the back. Okay, so that's housekeeping, kind of, but not really, just some personal stuff. But let's get into the video. So the first couple I'm going to talk about is Letitia and Keith. They ain't have nothing going on this season finale, which was really shocker. But I mean, it was really nothing to wrap up. As y'all know, last week, Letitia was in her P-Valley outfit going out with her friend for drinks, right? And Keith called her because Aunt Marcia alerted him and let him know, hey, Keith, Tisha is up here sporting some ring that costs $15,868.86 on her finger. And how does Aunt Marcia know? Because Aunt Marcia is the one that keeps Keith's finances. She is the one, before Tisha came around, she keeps the finances, and she makes sure that he's on track and all of that. So she knows the money that goes in and out of the account. Because last episode, I was like, I don't think Letitia told her how much the ring cost, but Aunt Marcia saw all the bling of the ring and said, let me go do some digging and investigating. And when she found out how much it cost, she went ahead and called Keith, and she let Keith know that this daggone ring was $15,886 and all this change or whatever it was. And so Letitia comes in the house, and Aunt Marcia is sitting there on the couch, and Aunt Marcia is like, hey, y'all have fun. And Letitia was like, well, thank you for watching the kids, thank you for taking out the trash, thank you for doing everything that you do, right? And so once Letitia did all that, then she says, I'm going to confront Aunt Marcia about telling Keith about the whole ring situation, because that I wanted to do that. So she tells Aunt Marcia, I wanted to confront my husband and let him know about the ring, and you did it before I could even get a chance to do it. The nerve of you, right? So Aunt Marcia is just kind of like, well, before you came, it was me. I was the one that was in control of his finances. So you can't get mad if I let him know what's up. I saw that it was something missing, and I let him know what it was. In a way, I understand both sides because Letitia is now his wife. So Letitia, excuse me, y'all, feels that since I'm his wife, I should be the one in control and in charge of looking at the books and telling him what I want to tell him, the whole nine. But Aunt Marcia is his family, his blood family on that hand. And she has his best interest at heart. So she is like, I'm not about to sit up here and let you dig my nephew into a hole, because if Letitia goes tomorrow, Aunt Marcia is still going to be there. So I understand both sides of the fence, but I do believe that Aunt Marcia felt like, hey, because she said in her confessionals, if you didn't tell him, that was keeping something from him. So I felt like it was my duty to tell him. So I mean, that's all that really happened with them. Tisha said she is coming off of the accounts. She not gonna be able to see nothing else. It's gonna be me and my husband on there. I'm gonna get her off of there. And so then when they wrapped up Letitia and Keith, the little comments that they gave at the end of their storyline was that she kept the ring. So last week after Keith was doing all that barking about the ring, how he was gonna cut her finger off, how he was gonna take the ring back, and all of this and that, it ended up being that she kept the ring. So Keith was all bark and no bite. He didn't do nothing. She kept the ring, and it was what it was. That's what happened with them. Nothing major. Moving on to the next couple. If this your first time watching my review, if I look down, that just means I'm looking down in my notes because I'm new to reviewing shows, and so I like to make sure I write down important stuff so I don't forget nothing. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next couple, and that is going to be Savannah and Jake. Savannah is an interesting character, really. I feel like she is doing this show so that she can prepare for her next role. Maybe her next role is going to be a delusional prison girlfriend. I don't know, but she's prepping for the role because that's exactly what she's playing. Because last week, as you know, she was at the bridal shop looking at ugly wedding dresses. Yes, I said ugly because all of them that she tried on was a hot whole mess. They were super, super ugly. Hated all of them dresses. I hated every has one of them dresses. But she says that she couldn't buy, I guess, what she wanted to buy, because I'm pretty sure that bridal shop had other cute dresses, but she couldn't buy what she wanted to buy because there were rules at the prison. Because as you know, she brought a dress because she said she's going to show up and make Jake marry her. So last week, I was just like, this chick is really crazy. Like, she is bad crazy, right? So she goes ahead this week and she's driving. Before she leaves the house, she says, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. You know, she done crumpled up her hair and stuff. I'm so nervous. You know, when I get, last week, y'all know she said when she get nervous, she likes to pass gas, right? So this week, she said she was so nervous that she pooped twice and all this other stuff. Sorry about that. That's her words, not my words. So then she gets in the car and she's riding, she's driving with the wedding dress on, and she has one of those, like, you know, the brides that do the whole bridal party, and they have one of those veils on, the half veils that says bride on it. She had one of those on her hair, and so she's on her way to jail, and she is going to try to implement this plan of getting Jake to marry her. I was just like, child, we gonna see how this go over, right? So she get there. Of course, the cameras cannot go in, and so she goes in, and then they pan to her coming out, and she looks disheveled. She looks kind of downcast, and I was like, oh gosh, is Savannah going to cry? Because y'all already know she will cry at a drop of a hat. So she gets in the car and she speeds off in a Nissan of hers, and she throws the bouquet out the window saying, I don't need this anymore. And I already was like, oh Lord, I guess Jake didn't go for her diabolical plan. So then she says, yeah, I don't need these anymore. I went in, sat down with him, we took some pictures, and then I introduced him to the wedding papers. So she brought the whole wedding papers drafted up with her signing them. And correct me if I'm wrong, right? I thought that the person performing the wedding is supposed to sign also. So how did she think she was just going to show up with papers, sign them, have him sign them, and then they were married? Like, it has to be with witnesses, and it has to be performed by an ordained minister. I mean, what is wrong with her? This didn't even make no sense anyway, even if he was going to go through with it. So she said she sat down, she showed him the paper. She said, I already signed it. All you need to do is sign it. She said Jake chuckled and was like, ha, no. It was like, I'm not doing that, okay? Not doing it. So Savannah, of course, was upset. She leaves, of course, and then we get to her in the car. After she's driving for a little bit, she almost turned on the waterworks. She was like, and then it kind of subsided, and I was like, okay, you watching my reviews, you know I don't like that crying. So then Jake calls on the phone, and Jake says, you know, he was really impressed basically by the fact that she showed up in a wedding dress ready to marry him when he was at his lowest point. And I was just like, Jake, that's impressive. Like, I'm like, how is that impressive? But at any rate, he felt it was impressive, but he also said, I do not want to marry you while I'm still behind bars and in this place. And he has told her that finally is sunk into Savannah's head on this last episode, right? That she was just like, well, I understand he doesn't want to get married in jail, so I'll just wait for him and blah, blah, blah. He's been telling you that. And I think Jake just said something to pacify her and close out this episode, because you remember last episode, right? When she was chilling with her friend. Not last episode, I think it was the episode before last. But he told her while she was chilling with her friend and he called on the phone, he said, when I get out, I am going to sow my royal oats. I want to get an apartment. I want to get a job. I want to get into some women. I want to get into a lot of stuff. And then after I finish frolicking around, I'm going to come back and I'm going to maybe get you. You know, I'll keep you around as a friend, but I'm going to get you while I'm frolicking, when I'm finished frolicking around. And she just was like, okay, well, maybe he don't mean it like that. Ma'am, he has been telling you this whole season, excuse me, I don't want to marry you. I'm going to live a little bit when I get out. The whole nine. He says, he even said he was comfortable with knowing he was going to be there until 2028. And some type of way, excuse me, y'all, she still feels like she can change him or whatever, and that's why she popped up with that wedding dress. But he still stuck to his guns and was like, no, I don't want to marry you. So anyway, she's smiling because he's calling and saying all these things about how he was impressed with her and blah blah blah. So her ending of her story was that she hopes that Jake is going to ask her to marry him in 2024, which she still doesn't get. She still don't get it, because I'm just like, Savannah, he is not going to marry you while he's in jail. He said he does not want that memory attached to that place. Why are you not getting this, girl? You still a little delusional. Like, she crept up out of the delusion a little bit, but you still a little delusional because you still feel like in 2024 it's going to be a possibility. Whatever. And she's working still on his commendation papers to get him released from jail or what have you. Okay, so moving right along to the next couple. Who I want to go with? Let's go to Jade and Chris, because they ain't had nothing going on either. If, in my opinion, I hope Jade and Chris is not on Life After Lockup. I could not remember if I saw if they were going to be on there or not, but I hope not, because this couple is a snooze fest. They don't have anything going on. They don't have no issue for real, but they keep trying to paint this narrative that it's issues with them, and it's really nothing. The whole season they've been talking about the same thing. I want some time. I keep calling. I make money. I'm not a gold digger. You know, it's the same thing on every episode with them. But anyway, we open up and Jade is on the beach and Chris calls. And she's talking to him and saying, listen, I need to tell you something, Chris. And he's like, oh, Lord, it sounds bad. And she's like, well, I did not like the fact that everything is in your name, that your family thinks I'm a gold digger. And I want you to put me on the items that we have. I want my name to be on it too. And Jade is so delusional, because whether your name is on it or not, you are his wife. If you have signed marriage documents, you have marriage papers and assets that you all have accumulated after the marriage, that is that belongs to you as well. You, what's his is yours, what's yours is his. You are a joint couple, okay? And she should know this. This is why I feel like this is fake too, because she should know this at this point. You've been married to this man now, I think she said for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And you act like this is something. Why are you just now bringing this up as a storyline now? Has this been a thing or what? Or are you just reaching for a story? So Chris says, just because the stuff has my name on it doesn't mean that it's not yours. He said it is our house, it is our car, it is our this, it is our that, which makes sense. Jay starts talking about well, she's thinking of divorce if he does not put her name on the stuff. And I'm just like, child. But then 2 seconds later, in her confessional, she cuts over after he says, okay, I'll put your name on the stuff. She cuts over and she says she's looking forward to spending her life with him and all that stuff. And I'm just like, girl, why don't y'all go somewhere? They ain't have nothing going on. Please do not. Love Don't Lock Up. I don't know whoever will see my review as a loyal watcher and now a reviewer of this show. I don't want to see Jay and Chris back. Whoever you gotta find somebody else. I don't want to see them back. The next couple we are going to talk about is Andy and Brittany. Let me woosah, because Andy got on my last nerve on this episode, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So anyway, he opens up, he's talking to Brittany on video phone, he's holding the phone up, he's like, hey, we're getting ready to go. So they're getting ready to go because Brittany is about to get out of jail. Who is they? We are introduced to his son Barry. So Barry is going with him to pick up Brittany. He says he is good to have Barry on his side because his daughters do not his daughters don't support him on ish. And y'all can fill in the blanks because we don't do no cursing on his channel. So I try not to. He said his daughters don't agree with nothing that he's doing. They don't agree with ish that he's doing. And it's good to have Barry. And I'm thinking to myself, you just don't get it, Andy. You need to repair the damage that is done between yourself and your children. Y'all need to go to family therapy. You need to put all the energy you're putting into Brittany, her kids, her release, her everything needs to be put into the rebuilding the relationship with your children, because obviously more so your daughters than the son think that something, that you were not a great father, that stuff happened, that you did not do all that you could have done. And so I'm just confused at the fact of how he thinks that his daughters don't have a reason to feel away. You know what I'm saying? But so narcissist. Andy just irritates my soul. Not only does he look like a daggone 56-year-old man when he's 44, he just annoys me because he does not take ownership of how he possibly, in their minds, in his daughter's minds, was not there. And no one can hold on to that and be lying about it, Andy. So, I just feel like he just irritates me. So his son is like, do you think it's smart? Andy is saying, I got $500 I'm going to give her, and this is 500 of the 1,200 that I'm going to give her in total. So he thinks this $1,200 is this big lump sum for somebody just getting out of jail and they don't have nothing. I don't know what $1,200 is going to do, but I guess if she's staying with Andy and he taking care of everything else, I guess 1,200 to just have to do her for a month or two. I don't know. So Andy says, his son says, do you think it's smart with her having a former addiction to give her $500? Do you think that she's going to possibly use the money to go buy drugs, the whole nine? And Andy is like, well, no, I don't think that. She's been clean for 2 years, and so I believe that she's going to do the right thing with the money or whatever. I don't know. But then he also says in his confessional that some may look at his size and say that he has a food addiction, and he's comparing his food addiction to her drug addiction, which is two different things. They can be both addictions, but they're two different types of addictions. And he's saying that, I believe that if some will look at me and say this and some will look at her and say that, but I believe that people, she'll be okay, just like, I'll be okay, whatever. So the son, hold on, y'all, I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. So after that, he's preparing the luggage and stuff, getting the stuff ready. So the son goes in another room in a bathroom, which I do not understand how Andy did not hear the son on the phone. But the son calls one of the sisters, and I think it's the youngest sister, the one that put Andy on blast about not being a good father to Brittany. He says that, well, dad is giving Brittany all this money. Did you know about that? And she's just like, really? She says, wow, that's very interesting. And he says, and she was like, she's going to take advantage of him. But she says, you know what? We'll just have to let him find out. So she said, the sister said, let me know what happens. Let me know the whole nine. The brother says, yeah, I will once we get down there. So Andy is in the car with his son. He goes and he gets like 10,000 balloons in this little car. Andy act like he was driving in a daggone Yukon truck or something. It was all these balloons. And I say, if you getting all them balloons for Brittany, where the heck she gonna sit at when you get ready to go pick her up? But the balloons is supposed to be, I believe, for her son, because remember last week her son's birthday is on the same day that she's getting out. And while Andy was riding, he was just like, this is the son says, wow, her son's birthday is on the day that she's getting out. And Andy's all excited. Yeah, isn't that great? That's great for him. It's going to be a great event and blah blah blah. I'm so happy for him, blah blah blah. And every time he speaks about how happy he is for Brittany, how happy he is for her child, how he's gonna go get this cake and these balloons and do all of this and do all of that, I'm thinking to myself, these kids must feel like, wow, we wish you would have talked about us like that. We wish you would have put that energy into us like that. And that is what annoys me about him so badly. So I'm thinking he has the cake and the balloons for the son's birthday and not for Brittany's release. So I don't know. I guess they're gonna drop the balloons off first, get Brittany. I don't know. We'll see, because they're gonna be on Life After Lockup, and I know they're gonna freaking annoy me on that particular show. Brittany calls and she says, these are the rules. When you come pick me up, you have to wait down the street, and then a van is going to come drop me off, and then I can get in a car with you all. Then you can't come directly to the prison. And my thing is, if Andy claims to have been a ex-cop and his first job was at a prison, he said that earlier on we met him, how does he not know the rules of how an inmate is released? That's what makes me think that he did not work in no prison, or maybe he wasn't no ex-cop. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. So Andy says, okay, cool. They go to the hotel. At the hotel, Gracie is supposed to be there. Andy is like, I'm going to introduce Gracie to Barry, because they're around the same age, and maybe that'll break the ice. She's met me, how cool I am. And I'm just like, child, when she met you, she was not feeling it. She didn't know you. She said you're a stranger. And when she saw you, she's probably like, mom could do better. So she figures maybe she'll see that I'm a dad and she'll let her guard down or whatever. And still, when we saw Gracie, she was just sitting there like, it is what it is. Hey, how y'all doing? So Gracie was in the lobby. She greeted them. Then she went to her room and she was just like, it's a wrap. Hold on, y'all. I need some water. Commercial break. Without having a commercial. All right, y'all. So that was it with Andy and Brittany. Excuse me. Nothing really happened else with them. I guess we're gonna see on Life After Lockup what really happens with them. All right. So the next couple, and I believe this is the last couple. Hold on, let me make sure I got everybody. Oh, no. This is the next couple, and then we have one more after that. All right. So we're going to get to Brittany and Key Rocks, okay? So Brittany is pissed about EB. We see her leaving out of the mom and pop candle store or family decor store, wherever she was at, with EB, and EB goes on about his business. Again, I'm not a fan of EB. EB has stalked and harassed this girl on these episodes, and I cannot believe that Brittany did not consider going to go file some type of restraining order against EB, because this person is crazy. So she gets in the car. She says she can't make it home because she has a video call scheduled with Key Rocks, and she wanted to do it by herself because she had to talk to him. So she gets in the car and she does the video call. And Key Rocks gets on, and immediately he's like, where's EB? And she's like, EB left because I wanted to have a video call with you. And Brittany immediately, tells him, she says, She tells Key-Rock, she's like, EB is stalking me. He's accusing me and stuff. He's getting on my last nerve. Are you telling him to do this? What is going on? Key-Rock basically says that EB is his right hand. And she's like, I understand he's the right hand, but I don't like him being around all the time, following me, stalking me, doing the most. And so Brittany says, I was wrong for asking Carla about what happened at the jail with you, and she says I won't do that anymore. She says because she don't know why Carla lied. Still, I think Carla did not lie about that fight. I think Key-Rox was in that fight, and I believe that Carla did not lie about it, and I don't know why he wants to withhold that information from Brittany, but who knows. So Key-Rox is still saying he's the right hand and defending EB, and I'm just like, at this point I feel like Key-Rox is going to continue to allow EB to stalk this girl and just be all up in her business the whole night, and I don't like it. And I've said this last week and I say it again. Brittany, run. You need to get out of this relationship, because this is just going to go from bad to worse in my opinion, because EB not going nowhere. So EB doesn't trust you in a way, and so he keeps trying to dig up stuff and trump up stuff that ain't really there, and I just feel like he's going to try to draw a wedge between you and Key-Rox. A couple of other YouTubers that I do watch their reviews of Love During Lockup, they said that they think that EB wants Brittany for herself, and I was just like, I don't know. That could be a narrative. It could not be a narrative. I don't know. But all I know is EB is annoying. So we cut over to Brittany. She is going to Dr. Keith, and she's talking to Dr. Keith about IVF. She says she wants to have a baby. She says she wants to carry Key-Rox eggs because one of her fallopian tubes are damaged, and so she wants to implant Key-Rox eggs inside of her and give birth to the baby. The doctor says just because one of your fallopian tubes is damaged, that does not mean you cannot. Your uterus is fine, so that means you can carry a baby. Key-Rox calls, he gets on the phone, and the doctor tells Key-Rox that you would have to stop taking the testosterone in order for your eggs to come back. Okay? I didn't know. Well, I guess testosterone is, a male hormonal supplement, and so that's what I guess transgender women use in order to make their voice deeper, to get more hair, to look more masculine. But I didn't know that it dries up the eggs. But I guess it could, because if you're injecting yourself with more of the male supplement, then it could take away from the female components. So the doctor says you have to stop taking that testosterone so that the eggs can come back. He says because you're going to stop taking testosterone, you may develop some boobs, you may become a little bit more feminine, and the whole nine. And so immediately Key-Rox was like, no, I'm not doing that. And Brittany is just like crying, because she was just like, we talked about this. I want a child. I want your eggs to be carried. And Key-Rox is like, well, we can adopt and whatever else. He's trying to find different ways that he can just get out of having to stop taking this testosterone. And in my opinion, again, Key-Rox is being selfish. Now, I'm not transgender. I do not know how it feels to stop taking the testosterone. I don't know how it feels to go through the whole process, the whole nine. In my opinion, I felt like it was a little selfish. If you had to stop taking testosterone for a little bit or however long, just so you can have eggs so that she can carry the baby, why wouldn't you just sacrifice that for her? I mean, if you claim you love her, if you claim that y'all going to be together or whatever, why can't you do that for her? So Brittany is just really hurt by this. She's crying the whole nine, and she's just kind of like, I really want to have a baby. And my heart broke for her at that time when she was crying, because I just felt like a really overwhelming sensation of her just being really hurt and devastated by Key-Rox not wanting to do this for her. But at any rate, when they wrapped up her story, they said that she's still waiting on him to get out, and they're still talking about having a baby. Let's backtrack real quick, because did I give Andy? Okay, Andy and Brittany's wrap up. They gonna be on Life After Lockup, child. So they just basically said we'll see on Life After Lockup with Andy and Brittany. But anyway, yeah, Brittany and Key Rocks. I still feel like Brittany should run for the hills. Because Key Rocks got a lot going on. He just got a lot going on. And I just do not, I don't like the way that he has treated her this season. I don't like the way that she has basically been heartbroken and looking depressed and having Evie stalking her. And then at one point his brothers was acting a mess and it was just too much going on. So I don't like it. So I feel like Brittany should run and get out of the relationship. But as we can see, she might be on Life After Lockup too. So we'll see what happens with that. The last couple, last but definitely not least, is going to be Renika and Asanta. Now, as you all may know or you all may not know, Asanta did pass. He was involved in a car accident here in Georgia, and he passed. And so I'm still going to review him and her because last week I didn't, because I felt like it might have been insensitive. But at this point, based off of what I saw, I'm just like, okay, well, he did the show before he passed, and I'm going to try to be as compassionate as possible when reviewing them. But I just want y'all to know, he did pass, and I'm going to do my best to review them out of being respectful. Okay, so anyway, we get to Renika and Asanta. Asanta is still sitting and he is waiting for his bond to be paid. He calls Renika and he says he has his aunt that is going to send her some money for the bond, or send her the money for the bond. He said the money. So his bond is $3,000. So she's waiting for the aunt to send the money. When the aunt sends the money, it's only $1,100, right? And so Renika is like, okay, well, let me go get the rest of it. I knew she was going to end up paying something on it because she's pressed to see him. And if she pressed to see him, she's going to do what it takes and she's going to pay something on the bond. And that's exactly what she did. She went and made up the difference. And she's already like, I spent all this money to get down here, blah, blah, blah. And I got to put more money on this bond. But she going to do it because she said, my man, I want to see my man, or whatever. So she talked to him on the phone and she's like, let me go pay the bond because I'm horny. And he's like, I'm trying to get out of here, okay? You tripping. You trying to do nasty stuff and I'm trying to get out of here. So she goes to the Walmart. She says because they don't take anything but cashier's checks or money orders or whatever inside of the jail. So she goes to Walmart to get this taken care of. And she says she had to go. This is what tripped me out, y'all. She said she had to go into her daughter's college fund. The daughter's college fund to take the money out to pay the rest of Asanta's bond. I was annoyed. I was like, Renika, I know you ain't going to your daughter's college fund, the college fund, to pay a bond for Asanta. I said, that was just crazy to me. Because I would have told him straight up, I don't have the rest of the money. If you genuinely did not have it without sacrificing your daughter's college fund. Now, keep in mind, her oldest daughter is 15. I think the other one's 13. So if you went into your daughter's college fund, she got 2 more years in high school. Why are you going into her college fund? She going to need that money quicker than you were even going to be with him. Because as y'all know, spoiler alert, they're already not together. Of course, because he's passed as well. But even if he had not passed, they were not together. So she did all that, bailed him out and everything, went into her daughter's college fund only for them not to be together, child. That is crazy. So Renika calls the aunt and she says, this part is going to trip y'all out. She calls the aunt and she lets her know, oh, everything is cool. I got the bail money. I paid it. I'm just waiting for him to come out, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's on the phone and she's like, are you his aunt? Hence the title of this week's episode. And the voice was like, no. And I'm thinking to myself, what you talking about, Willis? So she was just like, are you his aunt? The voice was like, no, and y'all get this. And she said, so who are you? And she was like, I'm his girlfriend. Now, please help me understand this. If this is Asante's girlfriend, why the heck is Renika sitting outside to pick him up and going to Walmart and getting the money orders and bailing him out? Why isn't the girlfriend sitting outside the jail waiting to pick him up? And why is the girlfriend so calm? And why is the girl? I had so many questions. Why is the girlfriend sending Renika money? Because she had to send her money for her to go get the. So what did he tell her? Asante tell the girlfriend or the girlfriend, the real girlfriend, to get her to send Renika money. And then the girlfriend was on the phone like, thank you so much. I appreciate you, whatever. So I'm thinking maybe Asante told her that this is my homegirl, Renika, that's going to bail me out. Or this is my sister, Renika, that's going to bail me out. Or whatever he said. But the girlfriend was calm. Like it was just, okay, cool. Thank you for bailing them out and all of that. Because had it been me and I'm on the phone, or my boyfriend called from jail and he's like, I need you to send the money to some chick. I would have been like, who the heck is this chick? I would have had so many questions. He probably wouldn't even got 1100 from me, because once he said send it to this chick, I would have been like, who is that? And then it would have been a lot of other words and I would have been like, well, you figure it out, and I would have kept my money to myself. But she was real calm. So Renika says, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this and blah, 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 because Renika said whatever, I ain't tripping off of what his aunt said. So she's now in delusion world thinking that, oh, that's his aunt for real. She playing. There ain't no girlfriend or whatever, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Child, the girl told you who she was. And as we could see, fast forward to this present day, that was probably the girl that was, there was a girl named, oh God, her name is Alexis, I think, allegedly, that is pregnant with his baby right now, allegedly. And yeah, she was the one that's supposed to be on this scene. So that's probably her that was on the phone, allegedly. I don't even know if I'm supposed to keep saying allegedly, but since I'm new and reviewing on these YouTube streets, I'm going to say allegedly until my tongue fall off, because y'all not going to get nothing from me. So Renika outside, when she got out there, it was daytime. Now it's nighttime and she's still waiting for Asante to come out. She out there walking around yelling to us, I'm come on, and cursing and stuff. And I'm just like, girl, sit in the car and scroll on YouTube or Facebook or something. Make a phone call or something. He gonna come out when he come out. And then he finally comes out. We see Asante. Asante comes out and she's just like, oh my God. She was like, hey, and then she trying to give him a hug. He didn't even want to really hug her. He was walking like he trying to get in the car and everything. Then she jumps on him and hugging him, is like, I love you. And she's all crying and all this other stuff, child. And he was all like, yeah, I love you too, love. Acting like he didn't really want to be bothered for real. Asante, then we cut over to his confessionals, and he says that he went into jail the first time when he was 18 for grand theft auto, and he came out when he was 25. And then he went back in jail, and then he stayed in there for a period of time. So he's been in jail for some times, a couple of times. Asante, so yeah, he's been in jail a couple of times. So after that, that was the end of them. They wrapped with saying Asante wants steak, shrimp, and sex, and Renika is going to get to the bottom of who Auntie is. So they're supposed to be on life during lockup. But of course, y'all know he passed. But of course, y'all also know when they shoot these reality shows, they shoot them a year in advance. So when they shot life after lockup, he was still living. So I don't know how they're going to spin this. In my opinion, I feel like they should give a disclaimer of the opening episode of Life After Lockup and let us know what happened to Asante, and that due to circumstances beyond their control, their storyline is going to be taken out of the show, and they should allow another couple to come forward, introduce themselves or what have you, or just keep the couples that they have. But again, if they already shot it, they already got the footage, I don't know how they are going to spin this. I really don't know how they're going to spin this. But yeah, that was Asante and Renika. I tried to be as pleasant as possible. I feel like before Asante died, that him and Renika wasn't gonna work out anyway. The way he was acting and everything, he already had a girlfriend that was pregnant. He probably was already well, she wasn't pregnant at the time when he got out, of course, because he was locked up. But he already had a girl that he was talking to while he was talking to Renika, of course. And if he was still living, of course they didn't end up together anyway. But I feel like he was really playing her while he was locked up, the whole nine. And it is what it is, man. I don't know why these people sit up here and get on this show and act like, oh, I'm gonna meet this person and we gonna run off into the sunset, and they not playing me, and they being honest and all of this stuff, and it just never works out. I've been watching this show for years that it's been on, and it's just always the same thing. These convict inmates, they promise the outside people several things they're gonna do, several things that they want with them, and when they get out, it ends up being none of that. Only a small percentage of them ends up staying together, ends up being a happy family. But Renika and Asante is not one of them, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Asante. That was just unfortunate to even know that he passed, and I was just like, wow, that is so messed up. We just met him, he just got out, and now he's gone. And of course, y'all know, I guess if y'all have been listening to other YouTubers and researching and things, he had 2 daughters, and his now girlfriend, or was now girlfriend, is pregnant with his son. And just sad, anytime a child loses a father, due to um a really horrific situation, I feel really bad for that. Anytime anyone loses a parent, but especially for something like a car accident, things of that nature, is really unfortunate. So yeah. But y'all, that is my review on the season finale of Love During Lockup. Thank you all for joining me. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank y'all for watching the video. Go ahead and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what couple you are looking forward to seeing when Life During Lockup comes back, and y'all will see me in a couple of weeks reviewing Life After Lockup. Okay, so when Life After Lockup come back, let me know what couple you are looking forward to seeing, what storyline is interesting to you, any type of comments you want to leave. Keep it respectful, keep it classy, because that's what we do over here. And yeah, go ahead and subscribe, and definitely share the video. Make sure your notification button is on. This is probably going to be my once in a lifetime live that I do. I really prefer to do videos, but I'm probably going to end up doing like a live every season finale if I continue to review this show. But for right now, I'm reviewing just this one show, just getting my feet wet in the reviewing streets, because this is like one of my favorite shows, and so I do want to review the particular show. And I watch other reality shows, so I may come out and just do like a story that I found was interesting or something, and review that part of a reality show. But I don't think I'm going to get into reviewing reality shows and stuff like that, So this one right here, though, is something I've been watching forever, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take my hat off, jump in the water, and review this show this season, and I did just that. So I'm so glad I did, because I enjoy reviewing it, even though the season was kind of dry, but I really did enjoy reviewing the show. So I hope you all enjoy watching the show just as much as I enjoyed reviewing the show. And I will see y'all, I think it is September 16th that Life After Lockup comes on, and I will be reviewing that. Okay, so thank y'all for joining me. Love you all to pieces. May y'all have a happy and blessed day, whichever day of the week you're watching this. All right, y'all, bye.